Hello there, this is Tuomas of NIGHTWISH. I've been basically enjoying the summer at home, do a little bit of yard work, um, been composing for the next Ari album, been pre-recording it as well, and then just enjoyed the moment of Yesterwynde finally being ready. The basics have always stayed the same. With this one, maybe the biggest difference was that it took a long time. So about 3.5 years since the moment we started writing the songs till mastering. It was 3.5 years. But of course, we did some live shows in between, so it wasn't like we were working on Yes to Wine 24/7 every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was quite the journey. But really enjoyed every single moment I got to spend with those songs. First by myself for the first year, and then toying around them with the band and seeing it all come together. It really is my favorite part of the whole process. My favorite part is the songwriting process, and then the moment I get to play those songs, the demo of those songs with
Mm.
the other members of the band.
Yeah.
That's really exciting. I really enjoy surprising people and surprising myself
Mm-hmm.
as well. So yeah, but that is maybe the only truly scary moment when the other bandmates hear the new material for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
because I really want them to be on the same page and enjoy it as much as I do.
Yeah.
And if and when they did, it was like, yes, now the journey really begins.
Yeah. Yeah. Have there ever been times that people might not be on the same page? Like, I'm supposing that the songs don't change much from when they come out of your head until the whole process is done, or
Usually not, but there has been instances that the songs change quite a bit actually. But I, I can't remember a single incident that somebody would have like despised the song,
yeah.
like
I,
we can't do this or
no.
anything like this. There have been like it has a really good basis, but maybe we can do this. I remember a song called My Walden changed quite a bit from the
Mm.
original demo. Nemo changed a lot from the very original demo. It had an additional middle part of like a minute and a half with Marco singing, so we cut that out. So it does happen. Harvest from the previous album, it had a different arrangement originally that we changed. But this is all part of the process, and I absolutely love it. Playing wise, he's quite different from Marco, which was a very welcome thing as well. Marco is brilliant in his own way, and so is Jukkis. And it really helped that Jukkis and Kaitsu had been playing together for 20
Mm-hmm.
years or something. So it was a really easy transformation for him to come to Nightwish. Um, I can't really give you any details about what's different. He just is, and it reflects his persona as well because he's so grounding.
Yeah.
I've never seen him agitated or anything.
I don't know him personally,
Uh,
but I remember from the live shows, he just has this very calm, like peaceful
very
aura that's really nice.
exactly. Really knows his bass, and what also made an impression to me was that when we were discover uh, discussing over the thematics of the new album, he was like, "This is right up my alley. All of this. I love these stories. I love pondering about science and big things and all that." So he was instantly into all that. Without spoiling any details, for me personally, the album is very optimistic. Even the song The Day Off, it has a very optimistic message behind it.
Mm.
I mean, what Floor does in that song is acting to be somebody else.
Yeah.
She's the preacher of fear, the fearmonger, and then we get the kids in the choruses who say how things really should be. And then when they both join together for the last choruses, that's where the magic happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, Um, but it's really important that people listen to the album themselves and create their own um, stories around those stories that are there. That's the beauty of music and all art. Create your own story
Yeah.
and interpretation of
Yeah.
what the hell is going on. I used to listen to it all the time when I was a kid and a teenager, and I believe I got a bit of an overdose of that. That's why I don't listen to any kind of music anymore. I haven't for a decade. But I do enjoy classical music. um, But I think film music can be considered as contemporary classical music,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's something that I prefer these days in the very rare occasions that I listen to music. When I read about the story, I was like, this is so incredible. This is beautiful. The world needs to hear this. I had a similar sensation as I had on the previous album with the story of Eugene Shoemaker. Like, nobody knows about this, and we have this platform to bring it out into the world. Wonderful. And I read and watched everything I can find from the Tongan Castaways, and then started writing the song, and it just came as it is now. Then I contacted James Shearman from London that can we have some native singers from Tonga for this? Are there any in London? And the choir master then gathered these 5 people who came to the studio on Abbey Road and did their magic.
Yeah.
It really elevates the song to a whole different level to hear those voices and chants. And I met with one of them, Hannah Lee, she was called, the day before, and she wanted to make absolutely sure why we are doing this song, because the story of the Castaways is really well known in Tonga.
Hmm.
It's an important story for them. She was a bit maybe worried that why would a Finnish metal band want to do a song about them. So I showed her the lyrics. I told her why we are doing this, why their survival story is such a perfect allegory for what's going on in the world and all that. And she was highly impressed. And then they did their thing. It's also one of those songs that when I wrote it, when we rehearsed it with the whole band, it was like, yeah, this is good. And now when I listen to it, it's one of the ultimate highlights on the album.
Hmm.
Sometimes it just happens that the song that you don't expect that much from becomes something truly magical. It all comes down to balance and the story that you want to tell, and the more ambiguous without being artsy, the better, because you want to give the listener a chance to interpret it in her or his way. It's really important. Sometimes the subject matter is so obvious, like The Children of Ata, The Greatest Show on Earth, songs like this that you immediately know what the song is about, and yeah, fair enough. But with the majority of songs, you want to write the lyrics so that it gives room for interpretation. The beauty of poetry is like when you nail a sentence, it just transmits this perfect moment, perfect feeling. And like ghost stories in a tent, it just, especially in that song, it just creates this perfect moment that you can visualize instantly. And then you hear the music on the background and the melody that those songs are sung. Again, something really weird happens. And it's my favorite part of the whole process is like finding these melodies and lyrics and metaphors, the poetry that go together like this. And then something happens. I don't really know where they come. They just
Pop up.
yeah. Same thing with melodies and music.
Yeah.
I've said this a million times, but what keeps music so fresh to me still, writing music, I mean, is that I don't have the answers to the big question.
Yeah.
Where does it come from? I don't know. It just comes. That's how it's meant to be. If you want to get the full experience, listen to Yesterwynde from beginning to the end, preferably with lyrics and artwork. But just as well to pick your favorite song and jam to it, dance to it, whatever you want to do.
Mhm.
whatever pleases you. But the starting point for me in doing this album was that the songs are there in that particular order for a very good reason. We were really careful with the gaps in between the songs. All the little details are there to make it all cohesive and one big experience. The band immediately said after hearing the first demo that The Day Off has to be a single. That's a clear one. And then a bit later came The Perfume of the Timeless, and then Floor wanted Lantern Light to be the third one. It's gonna come out on the same day as the album
Okay, great.
with a music video.
You mentioned the day off, and yeah, I think it wasn't on my Nightwish bingo card. I guess that there would be a little bit disco maybe in a
Hmm.
Nightwish song. So, like, how fun is it for you after all these years to experiment with that a little bit?
No, you have to keep it fresh. You have to go to places that you haven't been before. You have to challenge yourself. You have to be able to laugh at yourself every now and then, you know. And that's what Day Off is all about. We had a lot of fun with it. Doesn't bother me one bit. For me, it shows that we have been able to do something meaningful
Yeah.
in the past that they react so strongly.
Hmm.
I take it as a high compliment because if they are outraged that Perfume of Timeless is too long or that it's too generic or if the Day Off is too weird or too poppy or whatever, it just means that at some point we have been able to, go under their skin, touch them so deeply that they have these reactions. And that's a heartwarming feeling for me. And what else can we do but to do what we feel like doing as a band? That's the only criteria. I
Yeah.
mean, we can never think about the outside world while creating an album. The only thing you can do is to create for yourself, be genuine, stay that way, and hope that as many people as possible find it when it's sent to the world.
Yeah, that's a actually nice way of viewing things as well. So, but I also saw the Perfume of the Timeless. I mean, for me personally, it's a difficult song to hear just because it was released the day after my grandpa passed away. And then you have in the music video, of course, the long text and such. Like it moved me in a very more personal way than it would usually, I think, because of that.
Mhm.
But I did read like this interesting viewpoint in the comment section on YouTube that made me also think like the way um life is described there is a very romantic view of the world, while in history, maybe your existence isn't always based on love, essentially,
Mhm.
because, especially in medieval times, people were very cruel. So it made me think that how important is this romanticism and like offering this kind of escapism from daily life in the framework that is Nightwish.
We completely understand that point, and we were aware of it while doing the video and the song, but it would have made a weird lyric to include
Yeah.
that. But I would say the vast majority is based on love still.
Yeah.
If you go back through a million generations, so it's fair enough to say that we are the result of a million loves. But it's just the most unbelievable fact when you start to think about it that
Yeah.
you are the result of a endless chain of ancestors. And if one of those would have been killed by a cave bear in the Stone Ages, you wouldn't exist. So we are incredibly lucky to be here alive.
Yeah.
So let's make the best out of it.
Yeah.
That is the core message of the album.
It's like because I'm from Belgium originally, and a couple of years ago they made this really good history series about everything that's helped happen to Belgium, and like especially the Flemish part, and it also made me realize like the odds that I'm alive are actually pretty slim
Mm-hmm.
because, there were so many wars and so many huge things happening around the world that like my ancestor must have been pretty strong. Like they survived the plague, they survived all the wars,
Exactly.
blah, 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 too. So
Yeah.
Really crazy thing to think about.
Grew old enough and healthy enough to pass the seed
Yeah.
for generations and generations and thousands and millions of years. Incredible and beautiful. That was one of the biggest moments of understanding when I started to ponder about this fact.
Yeah.
Like, wow, there's a song or even an album hidden somewhere within this fact. The plan for the near future is to finish RE3, which should be mixed next February. And then we're going to do a tour with Auri in the fall of 25. And what happens after that, I really don't have a clue. It's a lovely feeling. Yeah. It's not that long ago that I had this idea. It's kind of like a musical idea that I got really excited about. And I was thinking, we can't do this with Ari, and we can't really do this with Nightwish either. So maybe another like solo project kind of thing at some point in the future. I don't know. It's so early still, but maybe.
Yeah.
Because after I finished doing Scrooge 10 years ago, I thought this was a one-timer. Never again. Don't really need. But if there comes an idea that doesn't fit Ari or Nightwish, maybe I have to go solo again. And both bands are musically so varied that you can do almost anything with those two labels. But if the theme would be something that the other band members can't really relate to, then I might have to turn to the option of going solo. That's what happened with Scrooge. I mean, the Nightwish members don't have such an intimate relationship with the duck as I do. So that,
Shame on them.
yeah, that's what I had to go solo. So
Yeah. Like, I mean, this is very much in the future because you obviously are having a hiatus and all, but I've always really wanted to see that album live. Is that among the possibilities of what's possible for you?
um, I don't know. Uh, would be an interesting experience. I know the album has a bit of like a cult status already, and I think it would be a success. But at the moment, I'm not really feeling it. But I've learned never to say never. So let's see. I've been asked to do the whole album a few times,
Mm-hmm.
actually, even on main stage of a rock and roll festival
Ah.
on Saturday night.
You robbed us of the like opportunity to watch that.
Yeah, I don't think it would have worked, but have to wait and see. I think we said everything that's necessary and important at this point.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks
Thank you.
for the lovely chat.